NGRX. So RxJS operator, I have already explained for someone. Just give me a minute, I'll get it. Right. Right. So the first thing is, what is your understanding about RxJS? What is the purpose of RxJS? So far, like, we have seen the very first example only with the GET request. And after that, I have shown you the end-to-end application development by performing post, put, and delete, and also get action, getting a single record and all. Couple of CRUD operations that I had explained to you, right? Generally. So here you will be understanding two things. The first one is going to be, we have the fetch, which will be doing the same thing, but here fetch will be written the data in the form of binary. And at the same time, if you wanted to make it async, then we need to add the additional logic. Additional logic is required. So, and the fetch is going to be available from the jQuery library. It is not related to the Angular as well. That is only the reason what we are going to do. Angular, they have created a separate library, and which will be mainly used to connect with the server. Okay, it is used to connect with server and perform the CRUD operations. Mainly, this is the purpose of it. And these CRUD operations also with async model. Everything is going to be, there are two types of request. One is synchronous, another one is asynchronous request. Synchronous request means one time if one action is performed, immediately if you can send the another request, then it will be in the queue, which means synchronous will create a single thread for every request. And once if the thread is going to be released, then only it will recreate a new thread for the new implementation, or else like whatever the thread is going to be available free, and that thread is getting occupied for the second operation. But coming to the asynchronous, whenever if you can send the request for the first time itself, it will get created like, multiple threads, and each functionality is going to be assigned automatically to the different thread, and all threads are going to be executed in parallel. That is what we call it as asynchronous programming. Generally speaking, synchronous programming is having like more control, but asynchronous, we don't have like, more control as a developer. It's automatic process that what it happen internally, that is how it is going to be. Now, RxJS, what it will do, it is mainly having three things. The first one is going to be observable. Okay, observable. And the second one is going to be subscribe, that what we are having. And the third one is going to be operators. Observable, what it will do is it maintain continue connection to the servers. Observable, like observer, simply I can say an observer will maintain a continue connection to the server, and that is going to be connected with the server. That means it continuously monitoring and connect with the server. Now, whatever the data the observer is fetching, if there is no subscriber, then there is no need of it. If someone, let's say, I just wanted to ask like, my server, could you please give me an employee data? That means I'm the subscriber who is subscribing the data, right? Suppose if I am not requesting, if my observable is getting the data and maintain it within that application, is there any use of that particular data? Do we have even any security for the data if you are getting unnecessary? So that is the reason every observer must contain a subscriber. What the subscribe will do is it is used to requesting the data, requesting the observer to share the data or information, that what I can say. It is used to share the or request the data or the information, that what I can say. And after getting that information, generally what we are doing, the scenario is going to be, we created a services and services will fetch the data. That data we will be getting in the component, and the component data we are going to display with displaying within the HTML, right? And the HTML, there are two options to present the data. One is as it is, you can display the data. Otherwise, you can apply the pipes to transform the data as well. What is the need of the pipe? Suppose, let's say, I have a service that is the employee service, where my employee service is giving EMP name, and at the same time, it is giving, let's say, an employee object, that what it is giving me. Okay, I am getting what? An employee object, that what it is sharing with me. Now, that same employee object, I am going to subscribe it in my component or not? Yes or no? We are subscribing it in the component, and then by using this subscribe method, we have like three functionalities are available. One is the next, and second one is the error, and the third one is going to be complete is available. Three functionalities are available. And when it comes to the next, what we are doing, I'll just, okay. When it comes to the next, it will make a continue call to this particular service and get the data, and that would be stored into some local variable or not. That is where we created something like this public product, that what we are having, and which is of type product details, that we have created, which is of type an array, and we stored something like this, right? And at the time of subscribing, what we are doing, I'll be calling the subscribe method, and here I just wanted to write something like data goes to, and here I'm going to get that particular data, this dot, I'll be having product is equal to whatever the data we are getting, I'm able to assign the data or not? Yes or no? Now this one, I'm going to display it to the HTML. Suppose, let's say, I'll be taking the HTML, and here I want to display that employee name, then or else product name. Then what I can do, I have my product object, product dot, maybe I'll be writing an ID over here so that it will be display that ID. And at the same time, I just wanted to display the name so that I can give the name. Now, once if the data comes from observer to subscriber, and again subscriber to the local variable, and after the local variable to the component, that is the template. After displaying the data, you can apply the data manipulations like this. I'm giving product name of, suppose if I'll be giving uppercase, am I able to display that in uppercase or not? And at the same time, suppose, let's say, I just wanted to write a simple paragraph here, and then I want to display the rate information. Okay, rate will contain, suppose, let's say, product dot rate. If I am using internally, rate will contain count and rate, both are available. If you can remember the object that we are having, it contains two. If I'll be giving like this, then it will be display how, like a JSON object or JavaScript object, but I don't want to display like that. Exactly, I want to display like a JSON object, so that I'm using the JSON pipe or not? Yes or no? So this kind of manipulation where you people have done at client level, that is in the HTML level. But I have a requirement. The requirement is going to be, whenever you people read the data, with the help of observable, then at that time I want to do some sort of manipulation. Exactly at the time of reading the data in the service, or else at the time of reading the data in the subscriber, if you want to do some sort of manipulation, maybe you wanted to read only the first record, maybe you wanted to read only the last record from that particular collection, or maybe you wanted to apply like, some sort of manipulations on the data asynchronously again. Now here, whatever you are doing, this is synchronous operations generally. Asynchronously, if you want to do that, then we go with RxJS operators are available. Shrikant, how many are available? We have around 40 plus operator, 42 or 43 operators are available, and we will be using very less number of operator, hardly 10, maximum of 10, like, that we are using. Anything? No. Okay. Okay. So maximum of, like, 10 operators or 15 operators maximum, that what we are using in our practical environment. And we have an official website is also there for that, RxJS operators. Official website is also there. RxJS operator.org, something is there. Operator.org. Learn RxJS. Okay. I guess this is the one, and this one. learnrxjs.io/learn/operator. Now you can see these many operators are available in the latest version. You can see that there are like different. One is the combination operator, and second one is the conditional operator, and after that creation operation and error handling and filtering, and at the same time multicasting, transformation, and utility, and at the same, these are the operators that are available. And this is like, that official website that what we are having. And in that, someone asked me about, like, the fork join is the one. Now you can see what is the signature here. The fork join, is it visible to all clearly, right? So fork join, now you can see which contains the spread of operator and finding with a selector, and then write the function. And what type of data it is returning? It return always the type as observable. Whenever if it is going to be an observable, it makes like, that asynchronous operation. That means explicitly we are telling, when all observables are complete, emit the last emitted value from the each iteration. Why to use the fork join? And we have like, I have like some example. Okay. Anyhow, even you can see here, when all observable complete, provides the last emitted value from each of the dictionary. Now you can see here, we are making an Ajax calls to this particular one. I'm not sure this is working perfectly fine or not. Okay, this is like, one data that we are having. And at the same time, if you guys can go to here, GitHub users Microsoft, when I go to here, I have like another data that what we are having, where I can find it. And at the same time, there is another one, API/GitHub/users is the one that what we are having. And I'm just writing something like that. So this is how the data is going to be. Okay, these are generally like, the sample URLs, dummy URLs, that what you can call, where it provides you some data to you, and you may use it, in our real time. Whenever you're doing the practice, some sample data, that the way how we have, what I explained, fake store, I guess, right? Fake store in the same way. Now what fork join will do is, RxJS 6.5, we can use a dictionary of sources. And here you can see this is the Google one, and Microsoft is the one, and users is the one. And whenever if I am doing like, the subscriber console.log, okay, what it will do is like, it will combine all the data and provides you that particular one. That means from what, first it will read like, the first one. After completing that, then it goes to the second one. That means whenever the first API call is going to be end, then only it will start. You can see emit the word after 1 second. And to do that one, you can use a pipe. And what is the pipe here is, pipe is used to add more than one operator. If you have like, more than one operator, then you can go with that. So that is how it is going to be. But I have a couple of examples here that I'm telling you. But if you guys wants to learn anything apart from that one, suppose let's say merge is the one that we are having. Merge is that operator. Now what it will do, you can find an example here. So the first one is going to be interval of 25,000, and second one is going to be 2,000, sorry. And this is the fourth one and fifth one. Now what I want to do is, whenever, let's say first dot pipe is, as I told you, which is used to add more than one operator. Now I am going to call which operator map to the first, third, and something like that. And it will get the data on that particular time period. So like that for everything, we have operator. Let me come back here. I guess couple of operators are used as the part of this requirement. From is available, from off, I guess. Yes, from is available. This is somehow interesting one. I mean, which is very important one. Emits the array and observable of promise. Okay, I'll have an example. Let me show you directly from here. Now here you can see, I'm sorry. Right. I have the list of students here. Whenever if I'm having that observable, I created what students over here, and I have that off operator. What an off will do, you can see somewhere you can find that off as well. This one, wherever you have the stars, those are going to be used much more. Star up, you have the star, right? Off you can go. Emits the variable amount of the values in a sequence and then emits a complete notification as well. That means here, when I give, let's say off, what happened, first of all, it contains the source list of elements are available. Total, how many elements are available here? 5 elements are available. Emits any number of provided values in the sequence. That means in my, let's say in API, I have 100 records are available. All the 100 records are going to be emitted. Emitting is something like giving it to you. And then whatever the last value we are having, it is getting subscribed. Now that means, let's say I have some list of values here. Now you can see name is brain. And after that we have 1, 2, 3 is the values that we are having. And this is generally off operator. You can observe that. Yeah, it is official documentation. It is official only. Now you can see off operator, how it is working. Mainly it is used to read the data from the resource. Now for that, what I can do, I'll be using this dot students list, that what I can give. When I give a comma, there you can see it is asked you the scheduler parameter will be removed in version 8. Okay, maybe it is getting removed. Okay, what operator? Let me verify the latest versions. Scheduler is deprecated. Deprecated. 1 second. I have given the notes. So generally, like what it will do is, I'll come to the program directly so that you will be understanding. Now you can see, I have an off operator over here, and you can see this, here we have the student list is available. Now here, whenever, let's say this dot, again, this is the problem. It's better to have. Let's do one thing. Create a new one instead of going with the old one. I'll be opening Angular projects. Let's go with the command prompt ng g application rxjs operators. Just a minute, it gets created. I'll be adding like, the new one and CSS. Right. I'll be opening that. Right. Let me close others. And whatever like I wrote here, I'll just copy it over there for you. Right. Right. So now here you can see, we will be starting with that. First of all, like what is RxJS operator is RxJS operators are the functions that what I can say. Simply I can say those are the function which are used to perform async operations data from services. Simply I can say RxJS operators are used to perform the asynchronous operation while fetching the data from the server, that what I can say. And here we have like, the three types of operators mostly. One is going to be creational operator. And the second one is going to be pipeable operations. Pipeable operators, that what I can say. And we have the third one. The third one is going to be, let me check. These are the creational, condition and combination. Okay, they have given like many, but we are using like, only few. I'm going to list you like, the few of operator, pipeable operation, and we have the combination operators are available. Let's say the third one is going to be the combination operators. And I used some place merge. These are important. Conditional okay, creational okay. And after that, error handling is not required. And filtering is also fine. Filtering operators. It was too changed. I have to update myself again. Yeah. And utility, these are like, the JavaScript operators generally, utility. When I say about the utility, like, which is mainly used to do what? The time delay, or else delay when what you are going to do, finally what you want to do. Let is one operator, repeat one operator. And every operator you can see what it is a function. Generally, it is a function. If you can just come back here, and I'll be going to the finalize, and here this is also a function. And if you can go to like anyone you can go, let's say concat map you can go, and that is also going to be a function that what we are having here. So these are all that operator. Now what this function will do is, whenever if you are performing any kind of asynchronous operations to the server and fetching the data, then at that particular time, these operators will work and manipulate the data that what we are having within our application. Now to demonstrate about that, first of all, I'll be doing one thing. I'll go to my application, and there I'll be having just, I'll go to my projects over there, and inside the project I'll be having the next one, that is the RxJS operators. I'll go, and then we have that SRC, and then we have the app folder, and inside the app folder we have the app component. This is the TS file, spec file. So let us close the TS file and this one. Okay, class notes you will be having like this. The first thing is going to be, I'll be removing everything, and the app component.ts that we are having, I'll just add something like this. This is the one. So when I say about RxJS, as I told you, it comes with three things. One is observer, second one subscribe, and third one is operator. Observer is mainly used to prepare the data. Prepare the data in the sense the data preparation is going to be done either by connecting with the server by using an API call with the help of HTTP client, or else it may prepare the data, some manual data, like an array of the data or JSON data, or any data that you can take, it can be prepared by itself. And until unless like subscriber will call, there is no use of like, the data what an observer is having. So that we have a subscriber which subscribes the data and then display the data to the end user. That is how it works. And in between, like whenever that observing and the subscribing, both are going to be happen. At that time, if you guys wants to perform some action, then we use like, this operator. That is the main use of that operator. Otherwise, there is no use of it. 90% of the scenario, we will be using the pipes only, but pipe will be in a synchronous mode. And if it is an observable, it is going to be an asynchronous mode that what we are having. Now what I can do, I'll be using, let's say, ng on init, that what I can say, ng on init, let, I'm going to prepare the data. I don't want to create like any kind of service right now. I'm using that observable and subscriber, everything in the component itself, because how do we communicate a component to the service and how to fetch the data, how to share the data, all those parts you people have already learned about it. So that is the reason what I can do. I'm going to prepare the data. Let obj is equal to, I'm using that off operator. Now what is off here? Off is nothing but, you can see, add it from, import from RxJS. Now what it is going to be, off is basically what? It is a, you can see there, function of, and it comes with value and the null and the observable of what type here it is showing me. What type it is? Right now it is null because I don't have any data. Now what I want to do, I'm going to prepare the data here. Let's have the data, maybe 10, 20, 30 if I'll be giving. When I go with the off, now value will become what type here right now? Number type. That means it comes with a number, and at the same time, this off operator will get the data of what type here now? Observable. The time whenever if you people can see it as an observable, that is an asynchronous operation. That is an asynchronous operation. Now that one, If you wanted to use it in your program, then you have to use what? Subscribe. That means operators, any operator you can take which emits the data in the form of observable only. But generally, if you can take the data can be of any type. Either it might be the product detail type, or it might be some XYZ type, that what we are getting like based on the data. But when it comes to an observable, as like, it is of type RxJS. When I say about RxJS means it's completely making an asynchronous calls to the server. And the time you can see when I use the subscriber, it comes with three things. One is the next, and second one is going to be, you can see we have that error, and the third one is going to be complete that what we are having. Now the first one is the next. Next is used to get the data, so that let's go with data goes to, okay, I am just writing console.log, whatever the data that what I am getting, I am just displaying that particular data. This is the one. And at the same time, when I give, let's say, a comma, the next one what we are having here, error is available or not. Now I'll be writing an error here. Okay, error object, that what I'll be writing. And then here what I can do, I'll be using console.log. Let's write the error that what I am using. And at the same time, we will be having the third one. And the third one is going to be, which is used to, just like, the third one, if you can observe that, which will be get whether the operation is going to be completed or not. And here, do we have any parameter? See that first parameter is next. Second one, we have an error. But for the third thing, do we have any parameter defined here? No. So that no need to write anything. Just to write a callback function. And here, I am just writing console.log. All values are emitted, that what I can say. All values are going to be emitted, that what I can say. Now, if you guys can execute this particular one, let's come back here and clear the screen. ngs-o -project is equal to rxjs operators, that what I can give. Just a minute. Now you can see, just I'll be displaying a simple message to the user. I'll use h1 rxjs operators, that what I can give, and save it and then come back here. Now you can see when I go to that inspect and then go to the console, it is emitting an array or not. And the array will contain how many values here? 3 values. And after the 3 values are going to be done, I'm able to display a message, something like all values are going to be emitted, that what we are having. So what is the advantage here is, if you are not using like, the RxJS operator, that would be a synchronous call. If you can go with this, then that is an asynchronous call. But apart from that one, there is no mandatory rule to go always with RxJS operator. As I told you many times, like not even Angular, anywhere like Java, C#.NET, whenever if you are making any kind of asynchronous call, you should be very much careful about it. Unnecessary, if you can make it, then that won't give you like, the good performance sometimes. That will be because like we don't have like the whole control over that. That is the problem. And this is like, the top operator. And come to the next one. Let's say in place of off, now you can see I'll be creating another object. Let's say let obj 1 is equal to, I have another operator, that is the from operator. And this is also available in RxJS library. Now you can see from operator. Now in place of from, if I'll be using off operator, am I having any error? No. Okay, Shrikant, like you have, which is defined on the top, and from is also defined on the top, right? From is also defined on the top. Now, what is the difference you observed between the from and off? Tell me, what is the difference between from and off? when I see, if I'll be giving an off, then I don't have any error, right? If I'll be giving, let's say from, then an error is available. Why? What is that exactly? Okay, read that error. Expected 1 to 2 argument, but gives a 0 argument. That means, suppose let's say I have an API. I have an API call and I'm making a call. Server is not responded with my API. Then at that time, what happened? That object will become an empty, right? Yes or no? Object will become an empty. Now here I'm directly giving the data. Suppose this data is, I'm getting it from the server. So that let's say, let data is equal to, if I'll be having this data, I'm sorry. If I'm having the data, something like this, guys. No need to have the let also. Let me remove it. Data is going to be 10, 20, 30. Now here, if I execute this one, what would be the output here we are getting? When I save it and then come back here, now it is showing me what? All values are emitted and we don't have any issues as well. Okay, we don't have any issues as well, and it execute and it is emitted. But I have a requirement. I have, if the data is available, then only I just wanted to perform like, all these operation. That means I wanted to make the data is going to be the mandatory thing. If there is no data, I don't want to perform anything like that. If you people wants to do, then in place of you can go with from you can give. If it is a from, is it checks the null value or not? You can see an argument for an input was not provided. If it is a off, it will handle like, even if you supply or not supply, it will execute. It doesn't matter that like, whether the data is available on that object or not, and data is there or not, it doesn't matter for what? Off operator. But the same thing, if you can use, let's say, from operator, it is mandatory to provide the data. If you are not provide the data, then it won't perform any operation. Rather, it gives you an error also. That is only the difference. From operator, off operator. Off operator is used to get like, the data if it is available. Otherwise, it will execute the whole flow. But if it is a from, it is must to have the data. If you are not giving any data over there, then it will not allows you to do that one as well. That is only the difference. Like that, there is a slight differences that are available between like, these operators, from operator or off operator, whatever it might be. I'll be writing it. So let's have the off operator. Off operator, it is used to fetch data from the variable, and if the is available, it will subscribe. Otherwise, it will complete that execution. Complete the execution, that what I can say. And the next one is going to be, we have from operator. What a from operator will do? It is used only when we have the data, then it's success. And also it won't handle nulls. And if you are having like any kind of null value, then it won't handle it. That is the another one that what we are having. Off operator and from operator is available. Both are available. And the next scenario is going to be, that is where like I made it comment, one operator, that's all depend on the requirement. Which operator is required, you can just go with that operator and we can make use of it. But like I'm just using it like, all the places. So this is how I'm using. And the next one is going to be, we have another operator, that is the range operator is available, which is very frequently we are using. The next operator is going to be range operator. This is used to print range number of values, that what I can say, a range number of values. That means, suppose let's say I have a requirement, I don't have, like, I'm of getting that API data. My API is not provide you, like, the numbers. Generally, how to generate the number? By using the index in the ngFor, right? We used an ngFor, and there we have let I equal to index. That is one option. Otherwise, what you can do, based on the data, how many times it is going to be iterated. I just wanted to give some range for that one. Then what I can do, I'll be using another one, that is the range. Now you can see, I'll go to here, and in the app component.html, let it be, I'm using range is available. Again, range is also what? See there. What is range here? Range is also an operator of RxJS. Now what it will do? You can just come back here and search for the range. Range is available. Now you can see, when I try to open it, what it will do, range. What would be the starting number? What is the counter? And at the same time, what would be the scheduler that what you wanted to fix? I'll tell you that. Now what I'm trying to do is, I'm going to give, let's say, a range of, so the start number is going to be, maybe I can say 7, and the end number is going to be, let's say, 70, that what I can give. And the third one is going to be the scheduler. Scheduler is outdated, seems. Scheduler, the scheduler parameter will be removed in version 8. It is showing, like, pipe observe on. I'm not sure on this one, but earlier, like, the syntax is going to be like that. We will be having, like, the 3, and after that, I just wanted to subscribe, and where I can go with data goes to, let's go with console.log, that what I can give, whatever the data that what we are having, I'm just giving like this. Now you can see this one, I'm not sure. The argument number is not assignable to the type of parameter. Maybe let's check this, how it works. It is not giving me, but it's okay. I'll be writing only these two. Now you can see, am I able to get the number of values here or not? You can see there from 7 to, it is exactly similar to ngFor. Why the operators are going to be, it requires the separate learning. So that is only the reason where people are not using it. But whatever that operators are doing, we can handle each and everything in the front end. We have, like, different options to do that one. 90% of the filters are doing the same activity, but that filters are doing it way at the client side in the HTML. And now here it is doing it way while reading the data from the API. At that time, if you want to read it, then you can go with this. This is the one. And the same way, we have another operator is also available to do the same kind of activity. How do they use the console range? I guess this is that official one. Scheduler, like, you see how it is going to be. Numbers, range is 1, 2, 3. And scheduler, they are also not given. How do I use the scheduler? Extend the time provider. Schedule T work, and then we can give the delay and the number of parameter. Okay. Not sure, guys, about like this schedule. I haven't gone through that. Maybe like when I just have a quick check this, and then if anything is required, then I'll just update it in the group. But it is deprecated. Scheduler is an execution context and a data structure to order the task and schedule their execution, provides a notion of time through now getter method. Not sure about it, like why it was deprecated. As they said, we have the range operator, and after the range operator, we have another operator is also there. Let's come to here. Interval operators are available. You can see maybe like, the time interval. I'm generally using like, the time interval to do that one. This is like, one of the very frequent one. Now you can see from event, whenever like, the mouse is going to be down, there you can see the time in milliseconds. Just you can see when you click on it, So how they are doing means they are doing like, how fast you are clicking. So to do this one, like, they are maintaining some time interval, and even you can find the code also for this one, but HTML is required. For that, HTML is required for you. And this much like, the CSS they have implemented. Now, how like, this time interval, like you see from event, repeat, scan, take a while. Like that, we have many things are available. And how I can use it is range is the one. And then what operators? A time interval is also important. Next one, do we have the map? Let me check with the map. Concat map, but single map is available. Map project function and this dot argument of any. What it will do, apply the projection from the value. I don't have a proper notes for this one, but I just used it couple of operators in my application. That is where I'm explaining. I told you very beginning, but I don't have a proper notes for this particular RxJS operators. Applies the given project function to each value emitted by the source observable, and it emits a result values of an observable that what we are having. Okay. Maybe this can be used something like this. I'll have 1, 2, 3. And after that, let's go with the map. You can see I'll be using the map. And we should have the callback function and array number of values. The function that accept up to 3 argument. The map method call the callback function one time each element of the array. Element of that array and calls a defined callback function on each element of the array and returns that array that contains the result. Okay. Let's say I have some number of element. Maybe I'll be giving some of operator. Let's go with 7. And at the same time, maybe I'll be giving 78 and 89. That what I'll be writing. And I'll be storing that into some observable. That what I am having. This is the one. And after that, obj dot. Why we have an error? Cannot declare block scoped variable. Let obs. Okay. obs dot. We have a subscribe where I can have the data. Goes to. And here I'm going to print the data. Now you can see we have the data that what we are having. Now what I want to do, I just wanted to add like, another operator to this particular one. I have already off operator which is used here. But additionally, what I want to do, I just wanted to add another operator. Then at that time, I use what? pipe that what we are having. Now inside the pipe, you can see inside the pipe. Now here you can add that operators. You can see their pipe and you can write operator one and what function you want to do write. Like that, any number of operators you can write. See, that means it support like, the 11 or 10 different types of functions that are supported, or else 11 different type of functions that are supported. And each one is going to be an operator that what we are having. And inside that, if you wanted to give any operator, there you can go. Suppose, let's say, you see these are all that operator. Map is one operator. And here inside the map, what value guys wants to project, you can just project it over there. I'm going to write something like console.log. Whatever the data that what I am getting, I'm going to get it over there. Now what a map will do, you can see. Okay, it is not giving the description, but not sure why. But this is the one. I mean, generally, like what it will do. If you wanted to add, like, this is the one operator, off is one operator, and then map is one operator. If you wanted to write like, the sequential flow, there you can give what? A pipe is one more operator that is used, and the pipe is also going to be an RxJS operator. What it will do is, it is used to chain that operators. Let's say I have 10 operators are available, and all the 10 operators I wanted to execute it in a sequential order. First, it will execute like, the top, and after completing that, it comes to the map that what it is coming. And after that, in the map, what you want to do, suppose I don't want to print anything. Rather, let's say I'm just writing something like let hello that what I'll be using. If that is a case, you see how the execution is going to be when it comes to here, where it is. Did I stop that execution? No. Now I'm going to open, let's say, RxJS operator. Now you see how many times the hello is getting called here. 3 times it is called or not. Why it is getting called 3 times? Because you see how many members that I'm defining here. 3 members. So that like, once if it is done, then it will be appending like, the data from here. Again, second time, again, third time. That is the reason after printing the data over here, let's say the 3 values, then 3 times it is getting executed and it is going to print that particular value for 3 times. Like that, multiple operators, if you guys wants to execute, then you can use what operator? Pipe operator that I have used. And I will show you like, at application level, how these operators are used. I'll go to my app that what I'm trying to share it with you. Let's say project I'll be opening, Angular, and this is the task manager where I'm trying to show you. Let's go to the code space dot. And here, I'll go to that application. And where you can see, this is the whole application that I'm having. Under that SRC folder, if you can see, I have an app folder. Under that app folder, I have a couple of components that are available. And in that, if you can see a service that what I'm having, and I have like different services that are created, I will show you like the whole execution. Now, let's say I have the project service which is available. And here you can see whenever I'm going to connect with that, now you can see I'm going to get all the project values or not. Return this dot HTTP client object dot. I'm making a get call and I'm going to get what type of data here? It's a project array data. If you can right click and go to that implementation, now you can see, otherwise like I'll show you that project contract also later, or else a type definition if you can go. Now this is what we have prepared earlier. Did you remember? I created so far with the interfaces, but in this project I use the class. Am I having the same data or not? Yes or no? Just it's a contract class. And then following with, I had a constructor, and with the constructor I supposed to pass all the data that what we are having. Now, what I'm trying to do, you can see, whenever if I make a call to this particular API/projects, that is the URL. Whenever if I'm making a call, then I'm going to get the data that is in the form of JSON. I'm getting the data from the API in the form of JSON. And at that particular time, with whatever the data we are getting, okay, whatever the data I'm getting, I'm just calculate the length of the data. If the data is available, now in the data, I have team size properties available. You can see I have a team size property is available or not. Now for that team size property, additionally what I'm doing, I'm just multiplied that with the 100. Suppose if the team size I'm getting it from the backend, it is going to be the 10 record. Let's say I'm having like, the 10 record. I mean, 10 is the team size. I'm just doing like, the multiplication with the 100 so that the front end is going to be displayed how many? 10 into 100, that is 1000 something. Suppose let's say my team size is going to be 5. Then I'm doing some manipulation. And when these manipulations are going to be done, whenever, if you are fetching the data, at that time I'm doing the manipulation or not. This is that exact scenario where you can use the operators. Apart from nothing. Understand? Same thing, am I able to do that with the help of pipe or not? Then what is the need of it? If you can use the pipe, that is synchronous. If you can use this one, that is asynchronous. That is only the difference. And we have like lot many. As I told you, like frankly, I'm using like, hardly 5 to 6 or else 10 maximum. I'm not sure. So this is like project level, I can have a good understanding, but app level, I'm not sure, like, I mean, example level, I haven't take any time. So that is the reason where like, this is the one. And at the same time, apart from that, this is the whole application. Just a minute. Maybe I will show you like what I have used. Anything, no, I didn't used here. And after that, dashboard service. Okay. No, I didn't used it. Login service. In the login service, I didn't used it in anywhere. You see, I use like, the map only maximum, like, I'm using the map, nothing apart from that one. Now you can see whenever like user wants to register anytime, then what I'm doing, whatever the response I'm getting from the response, whatever the username we are having, and at the same time, what is the current user, and we have like, the JWT token, right? As I told you, like it was integrated here. JWT token I'm just reading and storing into the session every time for every call. That is the reason I use the map operator here. And nothing, nowhere I used operators here also. Somewhere I'll go with router log. No, this is also no. I didn't used even here. I didn't used here also. Yeah, that's it, guys. These are only the operators that I have used, and the remaining, just you people have a look into it. Maybe at component level also, I don't think so. Component level, maybe I'll go with the login component.ts. Whenever if I'm subscribing, did I used anything? Login model router.navigate. No, I didn't used it. Mostly I handle with the help of pipe. That is where you can see I used many pipes over here. I created like, the pipes over here. Let's go to the filter pipe. What it will do? It takes the data based on the search by and search text. It will filter the data and giving it to me as the result and do another array, and it is going to give it to me. And at the same time, you see number to words pipe. If user entered like, the number, now I'm going to display that in a, like, the digits. Suppose 231, then 231, like that it is displaying. That is one pipe I have created. And at the same time, the paging pipe I have created, which will be the pagination. That means per page, like how many we wanted to have. Suppose if user has selected 2, then I wanted to have only 2. And then based on that, pagination has to be displayed. What is the pipe I used here? Paging pipe. If you can just see the paging pipe in the whole application, you can understand. Let's go to the paging pipe here. Control Shift F. Control Shift F. If you can go to the paging, now you can see I use the paging pipe over here. Paging based on the current index and then following with the page size and then following with the index. I know that you people will ask. Okay, I'll give you. I told you like, I'll share you this whole project, but I will show you that execution and then I'll give it to you. Just this is an example where like, to tell you which is important and which is not important. I'm not sure like why people are asking about that, but nowhere here I didn't use any NGRX also. We have like, those concepts are available, but it doesn't mean that like everything is going to be used. That one thing you should understand, that is important. NGRX I never used, but I'm able to maintain the data. To maintain the data, what option I used here, you can see. Whenever if user has logged in, I will show you the end-to-end flow. Let's say I have an admin, I have a component, login is the component. I hope you know about this logic, right? You know about it, how to take the username and password and everything, right? Once if it is done, user may click on where? On login click. Where you can find the on login click? Tell me exact the file names. Login.component.ts. Okay. All are clear, right? Okay. I'll go to that file. You can see that login.component.ts. Now here what I am doing, you can see in login.component.ts, I have what? Login click is available. See, like, how the execution, whatever I have explained to you, you people can find everything here, nothing apart from that one. You can see. I'm just, I'll close everything. One I'll show you, remaining you people can try. Okay. One flow I'll show you, remaining you can. Now, when user click on the login, I'm going to call a service. I'm going to call a service. What service it is? Login service. Now, what is login service here? You can see I use the constructor or not. Private, what it is? It is an object of what? Login service. Now, go to the login service now. Go to the type definition and this is how it is. Now, in login service, what I am doing? I'm going to make a call to a method. What method it is going to be? What method it is going to be? Authenticate. Shrikant, where you specified, you can see there. I'm doing what? This dot login service dot. What method I'm calling? Login method. Am I able to, are you able to see the login method or not? Yes or no? And to this one, I'm passing like, the login view model. What it contains internally? It contains the username and password. That is the contract class. Now, from here, I'm going to make a request to my backend application to a method. That is what we call it as authenticate method is available. And to that method, I'm sending the request and it gives me the response or not. Yes or no? Now, if there is a response, then what I can do from the response, whatever the username currently we are having, I'm going to get that and stored it over there. At the same time, I'm storing the current user information inside the session or not. You can see these two. And why I'm telling this one mean most of the people they are asking me, Shrikant, like, how do we prepare JWT and all? JWT is not handled at front end. In front end, what we are doing, whenever the login is going to be done at the back end application will generate the JWT. Front end is not having any control. I will show you that to you. Now coming to here, let's come to the Angular. I'll be using like MVC task manager. Let me run that application once. Now you can see what it is. I'm connecting with what you can see authenticate route, right? Authenticate is the one. Now in .NET application, let's say it is loading. Just give me a minute. Whatever you learned, that's more than enough. It is not required to keep like every junk in your brain. Okay. And then forget everything. Finally, what happened, unnecessary things you kept in your mind. and whatever necessary, you forget everything. That is the problem where like I don't want to give like, the scrap items. Now that is important. RX chase is important, but right now it is not. At this moment, with this experience, it's not. Now you can say, I'm calling which one? Authenticate or not. You see, from the front end, I'm making a call to where? Authenticate. And this is that authenticate here. What it is doing, you can see there. What it is doing. It is getting the username and password. If both are not equal to null, again, it is making a call to where? Another service which is defined here. What service it is going to be? User service. I have a constructor of this application and user service, and this is the user service. And inside the user service, I'm calling a method. What method it is going to be? Authenticate is the method. Okay. Don't tell me that, Shrikant, I'm new to that .NET, how I supposed to understand. Okay. Nothing is there. Methods, classes, Am I right? You know how to write a method, how to write a class. I'm doing the same. I'm explaining the same. I'm not explaining anything about C#. I'm explaining what I'm using a user service class. In that I have a method. What it is? Authenticate method. Now you can see user service class is available. Their authenticate method. Now to that authenticate method, I'm sending the login view model only if it contains the data. That is where I write the null condition here. Okay. Everyone is clear with this? Now come back here. What it will do, you can see. Now here, I wrote some logic over there. What it will do is, it will connect with my server. Okay, connect with my server. This is what identity authentication that I used in my application. This is, I mean, for .NET people, they might know, but not sure like about all. Identity authentication is available. What it will do is, generally authentication and authorization, those two are very common scenarios for every application development, right? So why should I write like, from the scratch? They provided some set of library. I use that library here, nothing apart from that. And once if it is done, now here, what I am doing, you can see, I created an object for which class here? I created an object for which class? JWT security token handler. This is the place where the token is getting created. Now tell me where the token is, client side or server side? Server side always. If you are a Java developer, you should know how to create the JWT token in Java, not in Angular. From the day one, everybody is asking me the question that, Shrikant, are you going to explain how to create a JWT? Angular is not created, right? Okay, I thought of like maybe you're at core Java so that you don't know like how it created. Slowly, like you people can understand. But a few days back also somebody asked me, Shrikant, when you will be explaining how to create a JWT. Now, who is like, the exact person to ask this question? Java faculty or Angular? If you are a Java, ask Java. If you are a .NET, check with .NET faculty. Okay, not that Angular. What an Angular people will do, I will show you. Now here you can see, we have the token handler and they created a key. And then you can see in the JWT, we have like, the mainly three things. One is going to be the payload, second one algorithm, and third one is going to be, three items are available. I'll show you. JWT.io, JWT.io. Yeah, see this. Header is available and the payload is something like the data. And the third one is going to be the signature that what we are having. And here with what data you people wants to maintain, that you can have it here. Understood. Now that I'm assigning here, what data I wanted to maintain? I just wanted to maintain the name. I wanted to maintain that email and I wanted to maintain the role and also at how much time it is getting expired and any algorithms. I'm using HMAC SHA algorithm that what I used here. And then finally, I'm going to create the token and this is what the token and I'm assigning that to the application user. And then finally, I'm returning what? Application user as the response, right? Am I right? I created a token. I validated the username and password. If both are going to be done, I'm going to return a token. Okay, a token is created. Now, if that token is available, now you can see, I'll go to my account controller now. Now you can see if the user is not available or that is null, then I'll return username password incorrect. Otherwise, what I am doing, HTTP context object I created and there I added the token. Shrikant, what is the need of the token? Someone asked me. Generally, what tokens will do is, suppose you people have registered or else you people have logged in and you try to open the new link. Again, are you getting the login page? You open the Facebook. Suppose, let's say I opened my Facebook or some application. Maybe, okay, I don't want to open my FB. I'll go with the Gmail. When when I go with the Gmail, I logged in. I'm a logged in user, right? Now see, when I click on the start, is it asking me to give the credentials one more time? Tell me, is it asking anytime? No, right? But how the new link, because every request is a new request and the requests are handled by using what? HTTP, and HTTP is going to be what? It is a stateless protocol. It is not maintain the data. But how it is not asking me the login once again? Because, very good. That means in the back end, once if the application execution is properly done, I created a token. And that token, you see, I'm sending it in the okay, written as okay. Now you can come back to here. After making a call, it is giving the response to me or not. And in the response, I'm having the username, I'm having the role, and at the same time, whatever the data we are having, that data, and also XSRF is the token, I'm going to maintain this particular token, XSRF request token. I'm maintaining it, and those two I'm storing into the session. Once if it is available inside the session, then what happen? Every time when I'm requesting, the session is having the token, so that if the token data is available, then it is a logged in user. If the data is not available, then it is a non-logged in. That is how I'm going to validate the request. That is only the reason where JWT is required. Otherwise, no need. Understood? Now tell me the whole scenario as an Angular developer, what you people are doing? Reading the token, storing in where? Session. That's it. When the session is getting cleared, you can see whenever the user is logged out, what you are doing? You remove the token. That is the session key. If you can remove, and the user also, if you can give null, then automatically session is empty. So that again, it is asking you to go for the login. Now tell me, why you guys are asking me that question then? Yeah, CSRF, XSRF, anything you can go. Most of the companies, what they are doing, they are maintaining their own token mechanisms. Two-way SSL right now people are following. Instead of JWT is okay, but additionally we have two-way SSL, OAuth authentication. Authentication is it's an ocean. Again, if you jump into that, it's very big concept. Authentication and authorization, it's too good, right? So now it's clear. Token, and here operators also I used very less. I used map here, but at somewhere I used within that application at some point of time I used. There is another operator also I used. I'm not sure on that, but generally, if you can do at the operator level, that is async. If you can do it pipe level, that is in the front end, that is synchronous. That's it. Nothing apart from that. And even you can create with asynchronous also. So this is the one. And someone asked me about interceptors. What an interceptor will do. You can see. JWT interceptor. By looking it what you understood, just let me know. what you understood, just let me know. Interceptor is basically what? It is a class. And what class it is going to be? Injectable means what it is? It is a service. It is a service. Simple terminology. When I say about injectable, that is basically a service. Now, from where it is implemented? HTTP interceptor interprets the HTTP request and the response and handles them. What it will do is, whenever you make a call to any kind of service at the back end, definitely the call should be in the HTTP only, right? Yes or no? API calls, general API call, fake store API. Without using HTTP, is it possible to connect? Or else, like just now I have shown you a couple of APIs here, the dummy APIs you can see. Here also the same. It is must to have the HTTP, right? HTTP or HTTPS. So every HTTP call whenever you make from Angular application, before it and after, if you wanted to execute some logic, then we go with the interceptor concept. And interceptor, HTTP interceptor is an interface. It provides one method, that is what we call it as intercept method. Now, Shrikant, do I need to configure anything over here? No need. Just you can create that service, and then in which module you wanted to inject, you can inject it, so that for every request that is going to be happen, it will automatically execute. The same concept, if you are a .NET developer, you know about the filters. In MVC, I mean, if you're a .NET or Web API developer, if you know about it, same concept we have with the name filters. What it will do is, before the request is coming to the application or after the request is going back, then it will process that request and gives the response. So that means some logic is getting executed. That logic is going to be this one. What an intercept will do? First, it will get like, the current user from the session. If the session of current user not equal to null, then it will get the current user. And then that user is going to be added as the headers. You can see that set header, what header it is going to be? Authorization header it is going to be added. Now barrier is one type of authentication. Now this token is added to that and then handle the next request. For every request, it will add the token, nothing apart from that. This is that interceptor. That is a concept. If you can understand, everything is going to be used. How a service will work, if you know, then this is nothing. That is from the very beginning, I asked you to learn the concept, not that example. Because as I have 7 to 8 years of teaching experience, I know how beautiful design and how you make, I mean, how like, you people can see by look, everybody like, I observe it. Don't take it wrong. If I use like, the good bootstrap and all, people feel that Shrikant is explained like, the great. But if I remove the bootstrap and I explain only the functionality, and just as the login page is having enter username this side and password this side, Shrikant is taking small example. But in the small example, why I not concentrate on the bootstrap mean, on that day, we have functionality is more. If the functionality is less, I'll concentrate more on what? Design. If you learn an example, like without having a proper design mean, on that day, functionality is more. I spend like whole my time on the functionality when I go for the design. If the functionality is less, I'll go for the design more. And at that day, when I'm doing like, the good design, a simple example, I explained you the mouse events. Did you remember? When I keep my mouse on here, like flag is sticked over there, I observe like, everybody's face. Oh, wow, it's good. Next day, I explained like, something which is like, very simple one, that is keyboard event or something. There we have like good functionality where I have written some sort of like, the callback functions and everything. People might feel that like, okay, this is simple. But here's the thing is, if you wanted to become a UI developer, pure UI developer, then you have to concentrate both. But we are not like that. We are here like, to be as a full stack developer. So you should know about the functionality. Logic is important for us. Design anyhow, that is done by like, the UI people. I told you like many times, designs are not that much easy. It comes only when you do the practice. But this one time, if you can practice and logically, if you can understand, then any number of times you can use it. But design point of view, that is different. And even in that design, based on screen, it would be different again. I'm having the laptop which is 17 inches. This design is different. That design is different. TV designs, like we have 32 inches screen, that design is different. So there we don't need like have the logical thinking more, but here the logical thinking is required. But people are like, leave that logical. And when I do that, okay, that's good. And this is bad. Like, but yeah, that's okay. It's a fresher level, but whatever we discuss, that's more than enough. Yesterday, I removed one guy. It's because of that reason only. Like right now, you are in a good track with me. You people are easy to understand what I'm explaining to you. If all of a sudden, if something new, okay, this is the, like, I saw that, like, he posted some YouTube. Don't you know how to search in YouTube to find some article? You know it, right? If somebody like, they started looking into there, then what happened after 1 week of that time, then everything will be new to you. But the same thing what I have explained from the last 1.5 month or 2 months, if we can go back to, let's say, 1 month back subject also, as your presence is here, so that like you will be understanding it in easily. When compared with that, you can understand it. Once if you have done this practice, then you can go anywhere. That's up to you. That is the reason I removed that guy. I don't know, like it's his brother or somebody family members YouTube channel. He just wanted to do a promotion. I found like, I felt like in that way, that is where like, why the misleading? It doesn't mean that like everybody is good. I'm not like, telling like, some just follow only my subject. I don't want to tell like that. Everybody is like, they have their own. But the only thing is, once if you are done with this practice, then easy to understand like, the upcoming things. Clear. That is only the reason. That is where like, why the misleading and all. I'll share you this one to you. And if you have any questions on the subject, so please meet me tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. Just I'll show you like, the DB I don't have. Just give me a minute. If I'm having the DB. I don't have a DB for this. I'll just check it up because like it was installed very recently. The SQL Server Management Studio, I formatted my OS and reinstalled. I don't have the backup for that. I'll just be ready by tomorrow and I'll explain you the execution flow. And in this, you can find around 10 to 15 exceptions. Okay. Don't open like, don't see it. Execute it, find that exception, provide the fix. Okay. Sir, I'm a Java. Can't do anything. I can't do anything. If you guys wants to do something more, I'll be ready this application with Node.js. But the only thing is going to be, if you're a .NET Java developer, it doesn't matter. I don't have a dedicated server where I can run this application to you. I don't have a dedicated server. If there is a server, then you can run this application on that server. You can host that in some IaaS or somewhere, and then you can make use of. It doesn't matter that like, it is going to be a .NET or Java. That is how I implement it. Same service, we can run it even in the Java also, because it's a core application, .NET core application. ASP.NET Core application, which are compatible for any of the platform or any operating system. I mean, any web server and any technology, any type of application, it is compatible. That is where if you found any web server, just install the Visual Studio in your mission and click on run. And with which port number it is available, just modify it and then you can play around with it. Okay, you need not to do any modifications on the .NET code. Just whatever you want to do, you can do it on the Angular application. That's my suggestion. Because I made it, I mean, Java, it's not a simple task to learn quickly. That is the only reason. If you wanted to provide like, that kind of same application, then no need to use this one. You can create that, definitely helpful for you. That's it. And if you have any questions, you just come and ask me tomorrow. Tomorrow would be the last day. And I'll just take, check like, that NGRX one time. And I'll tell you, like, give you a brief idea. And also I'll explain this one, upload all the examples, whatever we discussed in the session. That's it for the day. Thank you and have a nice day. Please tell me